at you all the way from our dorm rooms to your conference rooms. Sabah and Dan team in here, two college students who are ready to talk to you guys about business and lifestyle from our personal experiences.
Each week we'll discuss about our lifestyle as college students as well as our tips and strategies starting in the business field. We'll bring on successful entrepreneurs in the millennial generation, share with us their journey and how they got started and where they're at now.
Our goal is to help you students, millennials, and entrepreneurs gain inspirational advice by our spontaneous conversations and meaningful guidance. Let's dive on in.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 69 of Dorm Rooms and Conference Rooms. Guys, as always on our episodes, we always bring so much value and talk about so many different things. But to get us going, Sabah, how are you?
I am doing pretty good. I actually just started my senior year yesterday, so things are kind of going to start getting a little crazy here.
Yeah, I remember my senior year. It was about a year ago, unfortunately. But yeah, guys. Anyway, Sabah just got back to school, and I'm currently working a day job, so things are super hectic over here at DRCR, but we're always bringing value in different forms, and we're always going to be talking to you guys. So the least we can do, or the least you can do for us, is just rate, subscribe, and review us, and it'll be super helpful. But we're going to dive on into today's topic. Sabah, you had an amazing mastermind weekend. We've talked about masterminding on here before many times, but you did it again this past weekend. Kind of give us a little overview, and then we're going to dive into what you realized while you were on it.
Yeah, for sure. So this mastermind, it was a lot different than what I was actually expecting it to be, because usually when you think of a mastermind, it's like in a conference room, surrounded with people who are just talking about business. But for this one, it was actually in Iowa, about 3 hours away from Ames, where I'm from. And it was actually in a cabin. So it was at Brandon T. Adams' hometown, Garnavillo, and he took us to his cabin where there was no Wi-Fi, so we were kind of disconnected for a couple of days, and we were forced to really make that in-person connection with the people who were there. So just throughout the entire weekend, it was really cool to see how many diverse people there were actually in the room, but how many connections we actually made with them, and not even just with business, but even like in a personal way. So that was just pretty much the highlight of the weekend, on how masterminds don't have to be just like solely about business. It's also about like personal development and really like learning about yourself throughout the entire process.
Yeah, it's something I really like that you talked about. I mean, a lot of people go into masterminds or go into talking to somebody, and it's all digital now, right? Everyone just texts or Snapchats or whatever it is, and it's like no one's making that real connection with somebody. And that's what builds relationships, is building a real connection. I've had so many conversations while building up my digital agency right now that like starts out via, Facebook Messenger, and I instantly jump on a call because I want to get to know them. Also, it helps to close them, but it lets me get to know them too. I want to make a real connection with them. So, Sabah, when you were there, I know you recently had an epiphany that you're really going to start following what you truly love to do, which I don't know how many times I told you that you should just do it, but I know I have said it a couple times.
Yeah. So throughout the entire weekend, so obviously there was the mastermind group who are aspiring to like achieve their goals within 6 months. But then I was also looking at what I'm going to be doing my senior year, because it's my last year of college, and I really want to just leave college showing other students that you can really achieve anything you want in college. I mean, we've already done the podcast. I've done the best-selling book. So what was next for me? And I didn't really know that. And I've always loved fashion, interest in fashion. But for me, I mean, I've always wanted to start a clothing line. So I came to the realization that why not just do it now when I'm entering my senior year and really document every single day of my last year of college while creating this clothing line. So it's not going to be like just clothing, like shirts, pants and stuff. It's just going to be t-shirts. So that way it's not too hectic, because obviously when you're starting a clothing line, there's a lot that goes to it. So actually myself and Christina, who is in the mastermind, we're partnering up, and she's going to help me with all the back end stuff with it. And I'm going to do a lot of like the designing, the marketing, and everything like that. So for me, it was really crazy because I finally kind of had that motivation and push to actually start doing it, because I've been thinking about it for such a long time. So it's really crazy to see the power of the people that you are really with at the end of the day.
Yeah, I know that fashion's always been a big deal to you. I know that's something you really want to get into. And I'm super, super, super happy you're finally just like going into it and you're diving headfirst in. I mean, you need to connect with Andrew Walker too, who we had on our podcast before. So you should connect with him as well, Sabah. And I mean, I'm already going to be raising my hand to help you run Facebook ads or something. Definitely going to be a part of this movement. But Sabah, I know you were doing a couple other things while, you thought about doing fashion. Then you're like, maybe I'll just do it on the side. But why is it so important to just focus your efforts and maybe 1 to 2 things, maybe max? Because right now you're focusing a lot of your efforts on, podcasting. You were focusing a lot of efforts on Instagram, but now you're going to like focus it on fashion. Or do you think you're going to drop maybe one of your couple other passions involved, or do you think you're able to juggle it all?
Yeah, so honestly, it's tough because when you're really doing so much, obviously you want to continue to keep doing it. But what I realized is you really need to just pick one thing and focus on your main goal, because at the end of the day, it's really about like the quality of work that you're doing and how like fast that you're about to reach it. Because for me, when I look at things, I'm like, okay, if I want to do this fashion line, it's going to take like a lot of work. It's not going to just take a couple hours every day. It's going to take a lot more than that. And especially me, since I'm also in college, I'm like, okay, I really need to sit down and focus on exactly what things I need to do. So for you guys, if you guys are wanting to follow a dream that you've been thinking about or an idea and you really don't know which opportunities to pick because there's so many in front of you, just sit down and really see where you're going to see yourself in like 5 or 10 years from now and be like, okay, is this going to help me in the future or not? And by doing that, that really allows you to see the clear vision and path that you will be going on at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. I know too, like with so many people going into the digital area, whether it's Instagram, Facebook marketing, SEO, Google Ad, whatever you want to focus their efforts in, there's so many other shiny objects around you too, because as a digital marketer, you also find people doing affiliate marketing as well. So then they're like, oh, come join my affiliate program. Then you see them doing, I don't even know what. There's so many different things going on too. Like there's people like that are just selling you courses how to do digital marketing, but like so many people just are not doing it. And you think that like, if I'm this guy, then I'll be successful. But it's really about implementing it too and not shining all the different objects that you go with digital marketing, whether it's going into e-commerce, doing affiliate marketing, and doing, your whole agency, right? You got to put your foot into some of this stuff one at a time, and then you just go from there. And I feel like that there's so many shiny objects around us that it's so hard to really get in there and focus on one thing.
Oh, definitely. That also goes back to like, I know one of our previous podcasts, we talked about content creation and how you should also like start out with one platform, like whether it's like Facebook or Instagram, Snapchat, get good in one area, then move on from there. Because if you attack so much at one time, it's really not going to convert as well as it may if you're going to focus in on one. So yeah, that really goes to show with like opportunities that are thrown to you as well. I mean, which one's the best for you right now? Get good at that one, and then eventually you can move on to the next.
Yeah, guys. So that's all Sabah and I really have for you today about following our passions, about masterminding, about really focusing your efforts on what you want to do and building it out. Sabah's going to be launching this clothing brand that's going to be huge, by the way. I'm so excited for her. And I'm just going to keep doing my thing, digital marketing, plugging away. We actually had somebody reach out that has like 20 agents and wants us to do digital marketing for all 20 agents, which will be huge. But yeah, guys, you can find Sabah more directly at sabahali.com. You can find myself at danielteam.com. Sabah, what are some final words?
Definitely keep grinding and focus on what you are really passionate about, because let's just look into the future and see what you're going to be doing 5 to 10 years from now. But that's all we have today on Dorm Rooms to Conference Rooms.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Dorm Rooms and Conference Rooms. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you haven't joined our accelerator program yet, you can find that at livetogrind.com/college, where we connect you with today's latest influencers and experts in their fields.